Namaste, hello, and welcome, viewers, especially younger viewers, to our special series, which is called Born in the USA. Remember that Bruce Springsteen song? I think it was long ago. And it's called, America at 250. And we have with us a very special guest, Nathan Singh. Thank you, Nate, for joining us once again.
Hi, everybody. Thank you for having me.
And I really enjoyed and appreciated your views on America's 250th centenary, which we just recorded. Now I want to ask you about the other side of your heritage. Your dad is from India,
Mm.
and I believe you visited India recently, a few months. I was there. I saw you there, and tell us your impressions. How was your visit? Did you have any difficulties? Did you enjoy it?
I really loved India. It was my first time going, and I think I didn't really know what to expect. I honestly thought it wouldn't be as nice as it was. I thought it would kind of be underdeveloped still. I thought there wouldn't really be any. My dad kind of was making fun, like poking fun. I thought there wouldn't be like showers or bathrooms anywhere. And I thought it would be like sand dunes, but no, it was kind of similar back home. I mean, in America, that's people just living their normal life, and I mean, you'll see a bunch of dogs running around sometimes, and the traffic is very bad. But I really did enjoy it. I loved visiting all these different temples and palaces, and the food was amazing, and the way people treat you there when you get to a hotel is very respectful. People are very kind there, and I really liked it. Yeah, I had some complications. It was a very long flight, but overall, it was a really great. I went for a month, so it was a great month.
Right. And what were some of the highlights? Can you remember? I do remember one evening at the JLF, you were dressed as a young prince, and everyone actually believed that you were a prince. What
Uh,
was that experience like?
I would, yeah, when we went to the Rambhag Palace, that was definitely my favorite night of the trip. It was just so beautiful. And I remember I took this picture we took this picture outside of it, and it's genuinely the most insane picture I've ever taken. I think I might have it in front of me, but, um oh, yeah, I do. Do you wanna see it?
Please, please, please do.
Yeah, it's very cool. Like, it looks, like, straight out of, like, a movie, like, I think.
Oh, awesome. That's amazing.
Yeah, but that was definitely my favorite night there. I loved, like, dressing up and stuff. That was really fun. We went on an elephant ride, and that was super cool. Yeah, we were at the JLF festival for a few days, and it was very cool to see all the people talking. And I've seen some people I've seen on social media actually speaking at the event, so that was kind of crazy. And um, other than that, I just really loved driving around and seeing what was going on in the town and stuff. There was the flag festival where the kite festival where everybody was flying them. And yeah, those are some of my favorite highlights of the trip.
Now you have a driver's license, and I've seen you drive very, very carefully, very responsibly in your wonderful Volvo. Did you think you could drive in India?
I definitely think I could. It just was very, especially being a passenger, it looks very scary, watching that. And I, especially not really being used to it, it was, I had to keep my eyes closed the entire time, but I did really, I do think I can drive there. I mean, like, I think I could drive anywhere, but
Exactly, exactly. Actually, it's scarier, when you just don't do it yourself. It seems scarier than it is because I've driven in both countries. I mean, of course, you drive on the left side of the road. Here, you drive on the right side. But the fact is, in India, you drive so slowly, generally in the cities, that there's only one rule, which is don't touch anybody. But they come really close, so you get really freaked out. I mean, that's a fact. But what about the crowds and the smells and the animals, the cows on the road, and you've already mentioned the feral dogs. Now, there are a few feral cats in Lake in the Woods, not feral dogs. So, but how did you react to that?
Seeing the animals was very cool. I saw some monkeys walking around and looking at all of these different exotic things was, very different, but I adapted really fast and I really liked every moment of it. It was very cool, and I honestly appreciated it. It wasn't really like home. I mean, we see animals here all the time, like deer and turkey and stuff, but not like how it was there. So, but I really liked the change that we had.
Yeah, but what about the crowds? Did the crowds bother you a lot? So
I'm kind of used to it. I think while there is a big culture shock, obviously it wasn't home. I am very familiar with a lot of people being around me, and I really didn't have a problem with that when I was there. So nothing really turned me off or made me scared to go out in public or anything. And I'm a pretty social person, so I mean, meeting people wasn't a problem. I think the language barrier was a little bit difficult sometimes, but other than that, I really had no difficulties.
that's good to hear. What were some other challenges or issues you faced? I mean, for example, many people they go to India for the first time and they get what they call a Delhi belly. They
Mhm,
get a stomach upset because they're not used to all the bugs and bacteria that are floating around and viruses. Because
mhm.
the immunity of people over there is very different from the more sanitized environment here, or so they say.
Yeah, I the food is just completely different, and also I gained a lot of weight eating there. Ate so much food, but I really don't regret it. Everything was great. Especially going to your grandparents' house, they will feed you until you can't eat anymore. But I would say, yeah, my stomach definitely, like my body was just not really used to the food there. I don't eat like that a lot. Um, because we were eating, samosas all the time. We were eating a bunch of all of these different foods, all of these very spicy foods, and that's not usually what I eat back home. But when I got back from the flight, I remember I was vomiting a lot and stuff from everything. I think it was just a combination of everything. But I mean, other than that, I really didn't have any problems.
Yeah, I guess that, yeah, if you had just before your departure, if you had kind of, slowed down a bit,
Mhm,
but it's very difficult because you're going everywhere. People, as you said, are always feeding you. And,
mhm.
there's enormous hospitality, and somehow food is so
True.
central to it. Whereas here, people don't insist. Like, say, you don't feel like eating, people say, okay. But there they'll say, no, no, have this, just try this, a little bit of this. And you say, okay, I'll just have a bite. So, but I'm glad that the culture wasn't, very alienating to you, though the language barriers were there. You went to Delhi, you went to Jaipur. Did you go to some other places?
I don't think so. Those were the two places we went.
Right. And did you see the tigers? Did you go to Ranthambore or did you go to any wildlife sanctuary?
We saw camels and we saw elephants, and that was pretty much it for, like, exotic wise. If we saw anything else, it was just them crossing the street.
Right. No, there are very good tiger reserves, Ranthambore in Rajasthan itself. But
Mhm.
there's so much to do in India. It's a big country, as you know. Not
Yeah.
geographically as big as the US. It's about one third the size of the US, the continental US. But it's
Mhm.
still pretty big. But, there's enormous diversity. You know, maybe the mountains. I don't know whether you got to see the deserts. Did you go a little outside Jaipur and see the deserts?
I don't think so,
Okay,
no.
okay. So there's a lot that still remains. Now, tell me, what are now you? As I said, you have a dual heritage. What are the things about your Indian heritage that you think can actually be, a plus that can add to your personality or to your values or to your way of viewing the world? I mean, as opposed to, like, say, kids who are born and raised in the US and that both their parents are American, they don't really have this dual heritage. Or do you think it's just a baggage? It's just a liability?
No, not at all. I think it's definitely a plus. I think it makes my life a lot more interesting. Um, Especially, I mean, recently at graduation, I got henna done. I think it was very cool. I just wanted to kind of have that like cultural feature when I graduated, because especially I spoke at graduation, so I wanted people to see that. But no, with my culture, I think especially my values, it was very influential on me growing up. I think my parents raised us to always, well, especially my dad, put a lot of influence on values that he grew up with, like family first and being respectful, being hospitable to people, and especially sharing is one. We used to not like sharing growing up with people, but now I will share food with anybody. And that's kind of how he was raised, and always to make sure you finish your food. I I've just grown up where I don't waste food. Like, it's a very important thing to me. I mean, obviously, I don't try to force feed myself, but I don't like wasting anything. So, I'm always just very like open to sharing with people and stuff. And yeah, I mean, I always try to be very respectful. And I think those are some of the things that kind of came with my culture. And what I also love about being Indian is the the dressing, how we dress and stuff, and the dancing and all of the fun stuff. It's very exciting.
Yes, yes. I think you've put it really well. The cultural diversity and richness actually adds to your personality, right? And waste not, want not, wonderful. But remember, the early Americans were also very frugal. They didn't have as much as they do now. The
Mhm.
consumerism that we accept as the norm is very recent. The incredible overproduction of things to the point that it's harmful is recent. Even 3 generations ago, people were frugal. They used to save up. Sharing is another great value, and rather than just me, or me alone, because this interconnectedness actually that is so important. The Dalai Lama calls it universal responsibility. And then, as you rightly said, family first, wonderful, especially in today's world. Friends are really important, but your family is also your friend, right? And they are there, your first line of support. They're always there for you. And of course, both your parents, whom I know personally, have really raised you to be respectful, to be appreciative of all the privileges and gifts you've had. So it's wonderful. On that note of responsibility, sharing, family first, we bring this episode to an end. Thank you, Nate, for joining us, and
Thank you very much.
really, really, yeah, enriching us with your thoughts. And I hope we'll see you again. We'll do one more episode soon. So, friends, especially younger friends, if you liked what you saw, please write in, tell us, and do share and subscribe. And see us again, and give us suggestions for America at 250. Thank you, and namaste.